Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Unscripted and Unchained RPG Review. I am Castlekeeper Bloodworth, and as you can see by the graphics, today's video is going to be the first recap of our new Castles and Crusades campaign, Reforged from the Darkness. So, I was trying to think about how I was going to set up the tone for this, for this new campaign, and without putting down or laying down like a thread or a theme or something that they needed to run through from start to finish. I didn't want it to be something that wasn't open, for player input and through their characters' experiences, and then driving the campaign like that. So what I did with this particular campaign is that I set it in a time frame that's after the official timelines of the World of Erd, which is the official world of Castles and Crusades. And I found a town in a location that I really do like. I think that it gives itself to a lot of adventuring as a starting hub for adventuring. And then, as I was doing some work this morning, I, was thinking, well, what eventually do I want to call this campaign? So it has a name and kind of it reflects the nature of what we're looking to do with this campaign. And so after Winter Dark was a time period, a time period of war that that took place in the world of Erd, and we are taking place some 50 years later. So that's the first element that I had, and Trollard Games has been re-releasing or releasing their newest printing of Castles and Crusades, as well as some of their other IPs as well. And Reforged for the gaming materials means that it is no longer based on the OGL or have any traces to the OGL. So I have repurchased the printings that I did have, and I'm replacing them all with Reforged going forward. And then there's been a number of their Kickstarters are now being released as well, and so I was like, well, whatever I'm taking from the Reforged, I'm also going to include in this new campaign some of the new content, such as like the Monstrous Armory, and there's the Adventures backpack, which is currently in backer kit right now. And through that backpack, which I've spoken to on the channel already, I will be getting the physical copies of the Reforged books. I currently have just the PDFs, so I will be getting the physicals through that backer kit campaign. But the Monstrous Armory and the Adventurous Armory, I have already started to include in the in the adventure world for my players, and they've already encountered some of these, and I'll talk about that in a moment as well. Moving on, I'm still using Roll20. Roll20 is going through some changes with their with their system. There's a beta for their newest iteration of Roll20, so hopefully some more improvements come from that. But another thing that a commenter in my Discord channel said was, hey, you know what, I've seen some people doing recaps or summaries, or just keeping track of their campaigns using PowerPoint. And so I was like, you know what, that's a pretty cool idea. And let me see what is involved with actually doing that. So I literally spent about an hour this morning just working on the PowerPoint for this recap. So without further ado, I'm going to jump right into that. But I also want to give out a message to my players. I have 6 players in this campaign, and I strongly encourage you to, come to this actual video and comment in the comments section and give me some feedback as to, whether you like the presentation on PowerPoint or not, what are some other improvements I can do on that. And then all others, you're certainly welcome to do so as well. Come on in and ask about, what process did I use. To be honest with you, I just went to PowerPoint, and they do a lot of, they've really upgraded that from, the last time, when I was still teaching and using PowerPoint for my classroom presentations. They do have some AI enhancements, which really are nice. And so you'll see that in the finished product, and I hope you enjoy it. So without further ado, I am going to jump right into that PowerPoint and utilize that as my recaps going forward. So here we go. Now this might take a little bit of switching back and forth for me. So I'm going to go into the PowerPoint here, and I'm hoping that you are seeing this, so I hope I don't have to redo this. So so here is the cover page, and this is what I use on on Roll20, as well as anywhere else you'll see this this image. So the Adventurers of Lunenburg. So Barra Sage is a druid, a human female, played by Lee. Benjamin Ambrose is a fighter, human male, played by Mirador. Cadell Pembroke is a cleric of Durandal, a human male, played by Q Cooper. Cormac is a ranger, human male, played by Off-Grid Gamer. Dorian is a rogue, elf male, played by Shadow of Shadow and Sun. And Gallus Aldrich is an illusionist, human male, played by Cam. So all of these players have been playing with me for quite some time, with the exception of Cam. Cam is a new addition to my my cadre of gamers, and so welcome aboard, Cam. I'm glad that you're here and really excited about playing with these 6 players going forward. Now, Lee and Mirador and Shadow have been with me for anywhere from over 3 years, well over 3 years for Mirador. Lee and Shadow certainly over 2 years, over 3 years. I'm sorry. Shadow probably very, very close to 3 years, and then the rest a little over a year with me as well. So these are some of my long-standing players, and really looking forward to this becoming a long campaign. So here is Lunenburg, the population currently around 480, the free town of Lunenburg. So it's a free town because all of the river towns in the kingdom of KMR are actually free autonomous villages. So I, got this image offline, modified it a little bit, and then just noted the locations. And as the players expand their knowledge of this town, new locations will be dropped in as well. They selected a house that is going to be their base of operations. And they will have a maintenance cost for that house and everything, so I'm going to get into that beginning when they return from their adventure. Their house is the one without a pathway going directly to it, just southwest of F4, the farm up in the top right-hand corner. And if you just go along that pathway, and it's the first house near the woods that does not have a pathway directly to it. So the River Maiden's Rest. So the story of this town is that a nymph, a river nymph, had had washed up ashore next to the tavern, mortally wounded, and she was brought into the tavern where she was laid upon a table. And despite all of the efforts to try to save her, she had passed on the she had passed away on the table. And the table has there's the rumor, or legend, that the table now is has some kind of magical properties imbued into it. However, the tavern owner does not let anyone sit at that table. He has roped it off, and there's a plaque on the wall, commemorating the table to the falling of the nymph. Her name was Allura, and so the player characters start off in this tavern here, just having their typical breakfast. Now, they prefer to go to this tavern because this tavern is the tavern that is open to all of the river traffic. So there's a lot of people coming and going in this place. It's not as much of a locals only tavern like the Troll's Tankard in the more closer to the center of town. So they just happened to be sitting here and eating their breakfast, and there was a commotion that they heard outside, disrupting their breakfast. Curiosity brought them eventually outside, and then they followed the tail end of the throng of people, following someone along the way into the into the town, and they ended up going to town hall, all right, to learn what happened. Now, they tried a few ways of getting in. Initially, they could not get in, and the rogue of the party, played by Shadow and Son, he tried to climb in through the upper window, and even though he was successful eventually climbing up it, he got caught before he could enter, and he was ordered to come down by one of the town guard. The player characters are treated some, because they're all minimum age for their character classes, and they're kind of treated like they're especially the elven rogue, like a mischievous bunch. All right, so they eventually gain access into the town hall, though, and they learn that the local tinker, the only gnome in town, named Tanner Silverbelt, had his barge attacked and captured. The story was told that more than a dozen goblins and 2 ogres, using a ballista that fired grappling hooks, hauled the barge ashore. The brutes then captured or slaughtered the bargemen and crew, looted the barge, and returned to the forest. The gnome tinker managed to stay hidden and then traveled 2 days on foot to return to Lunenburg. The town council hires the party. So the Lord Mayor, a former ranger, a retired ranger, Art Grimhild, hires the party to rescue any survivors, and he places a bounty on the heads of the goblins and ogres. The tinker also offered the party 200 gold pieces for the return of his heirloom toolkit. And the priestess of Tefnut. Now, Tefnut is a deity of fresh body waters, rivers, and lakes, and whatnot. And it is a very severe taboo in this religion to kill anything, on the through acts of violence. Let's say not fishing or something like that, but kill anything on the banks of a river, or even on the river itself, like wading into the water and killing anything there as well. It's kind of ambiguous, like ship-to-ship combat kind of thing, but in the waters themselves or at the river bank, killing is something that is definitely taboo for this religion. And so the priestess had wanted to provision the adventure party with what she could. So she gave them 4 bottles of holy water and the travel rations that they would need to go roughly a week out. The attack had occurred about 2 days outside of the town, possibly even a little bit less so, and so they were provided with the provisions for each of them to go at least 2 days out, 2 days back, and then an additional 3 days just in case. Now they have a ranger in the group, and they have they have a druid in the group. They have a cleric in the group, so they can create water and food or hunt or do whatever in case they do run out of those rations. The encounter at midnight. So the first night that they were staying, they made an encampment. The ranger did not make his a successful camp, and so that certainly upped the possibility of encounters. And very randomly, occurring on the random chart, rolled up a goblin. So I was like, all right, that's very apropos for the adventure that they're going on. And so just shortly after midnight, the party is attacked by a group of 6 goblins. The fight did not last very long, only a couple of rounds, only about 4 rounds if I'm recalling correctly. And only Benjamin, the fighter, took a minor injury. He took 2 points of damage during this fight. Barra the druid actually critically hit and critically damaged a goblin with her bow. She scored a natural 20 with a plus 16 damage. So originally, and this is getting into the the homebrew and rules mechanics of my campaign. I was going to award her additional hit experience points for also rolling the natural 8 on her critical damage or her damage roll, and then I recalled that the game automatically the game system on Roll20 automatically doubles the damage to begin with. So I was like, all right, that's not that wasn't what I should have done in giving the extra experience points for that. She got the extra experience points for the natural 20. And then I converted that. You'll see the calculation I do a little bit later. So Lee, that's why I changed it slightly. Instantly killing the goblin. The party retrieved goblin-made weapons along with 24 silver pieces from the 6 dead goblins. The goblin-made weapons are going to come into into some of the story a little bit later on, and some of the players already know some of that story. So I did a little reveal there. So session summary. So the length of this session was 3 hours. We actually started, a little bit later, and we ran later than we normally do. So we packed in almost a complete 3 hours a session. The total combat experience was just 36 total experience points. So that worked out to their 6 players, so 6 each. The loot was 140 XP. Now that loot was primarily the goblin weapons that they secured, and then so that's the 23 XP. Now that might not relate to the actual walking away with treasure. So I forgot to put in here that they each earned 4 silver pieces from that 36, 24 silver pieces total they got from the goblins. Special XP earned. All right, so the total straight up was 329 XP earned. The special XP earned was from Barra, earned a plus 85 XP. She fumbled and gained 10 points there. She had a critical hit, which was 50 points there. And then a one-shot kill of an equal HD creature, monster, whatever, gave her an extra plus 25. And that was the modification I made when I realized that she was automatically going to do double damage anyway. I changed this calculation to any time that a player character one shot kills a a creature of equal hit die, or greater, is going to gain an extra plus 25 experience points. The reason why I reward fumbles is because I treat them as a learning experience, right? So I do give them a little bit of something to take a little bit of the edge off of, oh, geez, I just rolled a natural 20. Well, if it's something that, if it's something that is a new experience for them, then they'll gain a little bit of experience points from that learning experience. And so Cadell was the only other one that he rolled a fumble. No other crits in the game, so there weren't that many critical hits in this game, and or this session, I should say. So, but overall, it was a very good first session, and I am going to come back here and switch back views. Yeah, so it should have been following along, I hope. You couldn't read some of that because of my thing here. Geez, I should have done something different. So I will do that next time. I'll do this. Sorry about that. I didn't realize it was cutting through there, but I was talking you through it. So change for next time. But anyway, I hope that you enjoyed this. I'm going to switch views here. So I hope that you enjoyed this first recap. And, let me know again. I'm asking all 6 of my players, come to the channel, speak about your experience. Let me know if you like the way that I, did the PowerPoint to present those recaps. It's also an easy way for me to, relay to you the outcome of the session as far as total experience gained and where it came from, and then even give you some clue as to where the adventure may go the next time. I didn't do that this time, but we'll certainly do that the next time. So as always, thank you for joining. I hope you like this presentation, and please feel free to subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Leave your comments in the comments section. Thumbs up and share. That's all appreciated. Trying to still continue growing this channel and bringing more and more content to you that you're looking for. And that's why I really do enjoy seeing your feedback on the channel, so that I know how to be more responsive in the future and bring you what you're looking to see. So anyway, you will have a great rest of your day, and I look forward to seeing you on a gaming screen or at a convention sometime soon. My next convention, scheduled at least, is ShireCon. That is in September. I will grab the card. I have to keep these cards out here. So ShireCon, I've been placing them here. So AutoCon was in June. This Central New York was just this past weekend. And ShireCon is going to be September 26th and 27th. And you will find that on tabletop events. So you just type in the date and you'll see it come up there. And if you can make it out to that convention, it's a really great convention, and I look forward to seeing you there. I will be running Castles and Crusades at that convention at a minimum. All right, I may run a second game yet. I'm not sure yet, but I will be running Castles and Crusades at that convention. And so I'm looking forward to seeing you at the table there once we do make all the final arrangements and you're able to start signing up for events. So you have a great rest of your day, and thanks for joining.